I'm Nicole Palmour, and we're reading out of Happier Now by Nataly Kogan. The necessity of human connection. Most of us want to be connected, included, cared for, and supported. This is why tiny acts of kindness from people we know as well as from strangers touch us so deeply. They remind us that someone cares enough to see us, to be aware of our presence, and to reach out. Every time we do something kind, or are the recipients of kindness, another strand in the fabric of human connection gets woven into our lives. Not only does this bring a moment of warmth and often joy, but we are also reminded we're not moving through this life alone. And that can be an invaluable source of strength for us when we go through difficult times. The feeling of belonging is at the very core of our needs as human beings. The psychologist Abraham Maslow proposed 5 different kinds of human needs that motivate our behavior. This theory, first developed in 1943, became known as Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and it's been reaffirmed by many psychologists since. According to Maslow, after our most basic needs for survival are met through adequate food, shelter, and safety, we need to feel like we belong. Without regular social interactions, we feel lonely and isolated, and as a result, our health can suffer. A growing number of studies show that feeling isolated can interfere in our sleep and increase stress, risk of depression, and chances of having a heart attack or stroke. In fact, social isolation is considered by many experts to be one of the most serious health hazards we're facing in our modern society, as dangerous as smoking. In one startling study, Andrew Steptoe, a professor of public health at the University College London, followed 6,500 people all over the age of 50 for 2 years. Those who were most socially isolated had the least contact with family and friends and didn't participate in community groups or organizations were 26% more likely to die during the study period than those with the most active social lives. Having trusted and supportive relationships isn't just essential for our physical health, but for our emotional well-being. In the Grant study, a 75-year-old long study that followed several hundred male Harvard University students who graduated between 1939 and 1944, researchers at Harvard Medical School discovered that there was one key factor that the happiness men in the group had in common. The researchers knew the men's family histories and assessed their physical and emotional well-being at regular intervals from 1939 onward. They also ran a parallel study of disadvantaged men in Boston's poor neighborhoods for comparison. Many of the original study participants went on to have extremely successful lives. President John F. Kennedy was one of them. When asked about the factors that made some participants happier and healthier than others, the researchers had an unequivocal answer: the strength of their close relationships. The warmth of relationships throughout life has the greatest positive impact on life satisfaction, wrote George E. Valiant as a part of the study's conclusion. Happiness is love, full stop.